Hello everybody, this is Sabre. Welcome to another FF6WorldsCollide stream. Now we have a little bit of a pregame show for you, but I am not alone in this endeavor. I am actually joined by Aprebs. Hello Aprebs, how you doing, bud?
Hello, it's good to see you. I'm doing well. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Now, before we get into this, Aprebs was the wonderful person that started this whole entire campaign back in November. I believe it was, is when we dropped that promo. Of the Coliseum
That's
event,
right.
getting over 40 people involved, which was amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, seeing the turnout was great. Being able to have the upper and lower bracket, like you guys showed up, and it's been awesome.
Yeah, it's been great. And we've come all the way from November to February for this grand final match, Falcon versus Zenobian. But before we can go forward, we have to look in the past on what exactly happened and how we got here. Now, you are going to note that there is a name missing in this bracket. That is Falcon Hit's name. They actually beat Dr. DT and Taco Mage to move on in the winner's side of the bracket, and they were rewarded with, well, 2 weeks off of doing absolutely nothing until this lower side bracket sorted the rest of itself out. So, what was the rest of the lower bracket like?
That lower bracket was a lot of, I feel like because it was lower bracket, it was kind of like there were no more like no holds bar, right? People just kind of went for it. They gave it their all because there was really nothing to lose, you know? So a lot of good races there.
Yeah, double elimination match. Dr. Booby, Dr. DT, Zenobian beat Magre, and Double Down, who is the commissioner of a number of the leagues that we have around here. And if you want more information on that, head over to our webpage at FF6WorldsCollide/Discord or just FF6WC/Discord. You can get on all the events that we have going on. So the commish fortunately went down to Drulith, who is a multi-time record holder. Zenobian did move on to beat Boo. Taco Mage was the final, last one knocked out of the winners. They went down to Drulith, and first, and finally we had Zenobian versus Drulith for the semifinal. A very interesting match there too.
Oh yeah, that one was really interesting to watch. This little recap here. Seeing these people, even the people that ended up in the lower bracket, like there's just so many talented racers here and runners. If you want to learn by watching, if you're somebody who learns by watching, watch these races from the Coliseum tournament, because it's a masterclass of game knowledge, game awareness, and routing, which is just really easy to learn from because these guys are great.
Yeah, and you saw on the screen there, Zenobian, each of the last 3 races he ran, he got ultimated by Kefka, so... but he survived each time, it's amazing. But finally, during the Goner draw, power-up, they get Cyan 4-shotted there to move on with a 1:16.11. Actually, was the fastest time in the tournament. Not a bad way to end the run, really.
Yeah, that's a really nice way to kind of close out, and then all you have to worry about now is grand finals.
Yeah, we're about is that grand final, and so now that we looked at the past, now we kind of have to look into the future, and we actually have 2 flag sets, because if Zenobian is able to beat Falcon Hit in the first match, there's a bracket reset, and these two actually have to play each other again. The 2 flag sets have already been chosen, but we don't know which flag set will be run first. So we're going to talk about both flag sets, break them both down, and understand what they're both about, what the differences are, and see what they're like. So first of all, we're going to go over Mog's Lance. You want to run us through that for Aprebs?
Sure thing. So we start with +5 speed and +5 vigor for the squad. When you go to the Coliseum and you have the Coliseum win, you get a Dragoon set. All right. The objective that is available for Mog's Lance is doing the Lone Wolf check. If you do that, you get the 8 dances. If you kill 2 and 4 dragons, you get Dragoon sets for those 2 and 4 kills. Items and relics are 100% equipable. And then you've got, of course, a YNPC mascot. Just a little fun there.
Yeah.
And then 10 characters have Moogle skins, which is also just some fun cosmetics.
Yeah, kaboom! And you got a little brr at the end too. So, yeah. So the big ones here are there's 3 chances of getting Dragoon sets. Now, what's a Dragoon set? That is the Dragon Boots, Dragon Horn, and a high tier spear. Now, it could be the Ore Spear, Pearl Lance. I don't believe the Stout Spear is also a possibility, if I'm not mistaken. But you actually get 3 chances of getting the Dragoon set. So, three of the 4 people on your team could actually be all straight up Dragoons. Well, you have that one person left just casting magic. And the fact that everybody's able to equip items and relics means everybody will be able to equip those spears.
Yeah, that's really important, because why get all these Dragoon sets if people can equip them, right? So having everybody being equipable, it's just going to make for pretty fun to watch offensive battle there.
Yep, and of course the cosmetics, as you mentioned before, the YNPC. Now there is like a remove thing like that, doesn't do anything of that. All it does is just change whatever NPC you're looking into, like a Moogle or a Kokobo or something like that, just something silly. So just a little fun, little flavor. One question though is Objective Lone Wolf. You get all 8 dances. Now each of these flag sets are based off of a character, and that character is actually vanilla in their skill set, which means Mog will have the dances. But Objective Lone Wolf 8 dances, is that even going to be worth it, even though that's his only check? Because we are still on version 1.2 or 1.1 or whichever it is.
That's a great point. Being on this version and not having that synergy to be able to go through the check and then have Kefkat Narsh and stuff like that, it is going to be... That is a great question. Is it going to be worth it to get there? Especially because then if you can get just Dragoon sets and have Mog be jumping all the time, is he going to be dancing? So that's really, I think, dependent on if the racers are going to find things that they like, items that they like, equipables that they like in their first couple rounds of looting, and see if that's something... if there's the chance that they don't find any healing magic or something like that, maybe they will want Mog to dance as a way to try to heal up the party. Something, very niche like that. But yeah, that's a great question. What do you think?
I mean, dances are usually kind of not helpful. I mean, I can see the sunbathe being a thing. I mean, if you can roll the 8 dances and see what you get. Now, there is a buff on the dances that you never fall down, so you don't have that. If I do a dance that doesn't match the background I'm currently in, you have that fall down mechanic. That's removed. You always get the dance you get. The problem is that which order the names pop up in, because the names and how much damage they deal is shuffled on which ones you get. So it's really like, can you get a good pairing of a good 4 set, like Wombat, Sunbathe, stuff like that?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really still going to be worth it, because again, you still lose a control of a character, and you have chances where you may or may not get the skill you want. Yeah, I don't think it's really going to be the case. Versus we have Dragoon set, where I know I'm going to get a good weapon, I know I'm going to get a good couple of relics with it, where I know I'm going to get multiple hits, and I'm going to be immune to all attacks and damage while I'm doing it because he's up in the air.
Yeah.
So exactly. I'd rather just say Lone Wolf. I'll do the Lone Wolf for the check because that's his only check he got, but I'm going to go for the Dragoon set because that's where I know the offense is.
Yeah. No, I agree. Unless there's like a very niche way to utilize the dances, I don't see... It's far outweighed by the Dragoon set utility.
Yeah. So we do have one more flag set we have to get through now. The other flag set that was pulled by our lovely Commissioner Double Down is Saban's Claw. Now, this one is completely different than any of the other flags we've had in this thing. You want to run through this? There's a lot here on flag here.
This one's a lot. So starting with +5 Vigor and +5 Stamina, when our racers decide to go to the Coliseum and win, they have autosave and +20 Stamina. The game mode, this is one that's a little different. That's newer than the other sets that we've done so far. It's open world. And there's no free characters / espers. Another heavy blow is our start gold is 0, and the self-fraction is just 1/4. They do have the objective. If you get to suplex the train, you get the experience egg, which is a really nice boon. Another objective is Mount Zozo, Mount Colts, and Esper Mountain. You get auto regen. And now here's another difficult roll here is Espers have 0 to 2 spells, but they do have 100% bonus. No EXP eggs in the shops, Coliseum, or rewards.
Yeah, so so the only way we're going to get the experience egg is by slowboxing that train. Now, there is a way to go back into the Phantom Forest a second time round to get the train, because, again, the bosses are going to be shuffled, so you're not going to know where the train is. But there is going to be a train after you beat the boss, I believe, in the Phantom train. You can go back there again, and it will be the Phantom train, so you will be able to suplex it. I believe that's how it works, if I'm not mistaken.
I hope so, yeah, because that would be a great way to just get yourself there as quick as possible.
So you have to actually run the train twice, and that's the only way you get experience eggs. You're not going to be able to get these cool experience eggs like we do in this other league called Ultras League, where it's like abundant apparently. Because every time I see a practice, I see some experience egg. But yeah, going back, no free characters or espers. We've had that the last couple of weeks, so that's nothing really new. Open world. What exactly is open world, and how is it different from our normal set that we usually do?
Yeah, you tell us, because that's new to me too.
Oh, that's new to you. Okay, well, open world means all the checks are on the table. Everybody's checks are open. It doesn't matter what characters you have in your party, all the checks are available. So if you have Saban, Celeste, and Edgar, you can do Terra's wealth check. You can do Terra's treasure room. You can do the, with the cave after that. You could do Mog's wolf check. You can do Setzer's search the skies check. All the checks are available to you. So what this means is what is going to be the best pathing for the, for decent leveling and ease of flow, because there is no characters, no espers. So that means Shadows, Gao's father's house check, Setzer's cafe check. Those are not going to be character esper rewards. Those are only going to be high tier items. Okay? But, so it's really going to be who can find the best path and the fastest path through all the checks that are available to them in the game. Also, maybe weaving in the Mount Zozo Cults and Esper Mountain for auto regen. That's kind of nice. It's not great, but it's kind of nice. And that's basically what it is. I mean, so everything's on the table. Whereas before, we have character gating, which means you're bound to what you have for characters. So the 3 characters you have, those are the only 3 checks, or 3 sets of checks you can get. Everything's on the table for this.
So then that means this could be, some people might hear that and think oh, this is great. I can just do whatever I want and there's nothing restricting me. But the big thing with that then is now you have so many options available. You get paralysis by analysis of thinking okay, since I have everything available, where do I go? And you have to start to become decisive and just make your decision, as opposed to well, I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do that. The more time that our runners take deciding on what their route is going to be, then that's going to start slowing them down. So yeah, that's going to be very different compared to everything else we've had so far in this tournament.
And the other challenge of this also is the 0 gold quarter cost cell fractions instead of half cost. 0 to 2 spells from espers. Where's the offense going to come from? You can't just grab a whole bunch of nice items and then sell them for better items, because we're only selling for those items for a quarter of the amount. And even if we get an esper, the esper might not have any spells on it at all. Now the bonuses are nice because you get 100% bonus, which means you're going to get +2 magic power, or +2 strength, or plus 100% HP gain, or stuff like that. That part's going to be great. Yeah. But how are we going to get the offense beyond Saban's Blitz?
Yeah, that's going to be quite the... This seems to me like it's going to be one of those runs where you have a powerhouse, as opposed to a power party. Being able to having that limited experience egg opportunity by suplexing the train, and having that be something that you can use to boost Saban and get Bum Rush and other blitzes as fast as possible. This seems like it might just be one of those one power horse kind of runs, unless you get really lucky with your first couple rounds of looting. This seems like it'll be a pretty grindy flag set there.
Yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be the final race one. That's what I hope. But we don't know. We don't know the order of which one's going to be. If Moogle's going to go first or Saban's going to go first. We're not sure. But that is the 2 flag sets that we have in store for this grand final event. Any other tips or anything for us before we wrap this up and we throw it over to the actual action here?
I think, as I mentioned before, like if you are somebody who's newer to the Worlds Collide running, definitely take notes. Right, this is going to be, or even if you're not new, these guys have gotten here because they're good at what they do, and definitely take some notes. I know I will be, and hopefully be using those in an Ultras League in the future, and just any other of my normal runs. But this is going to be a great time.
Oh, it's going to be a wonderful time, and that's going to wrap it us for this portion of our event. Now, stay tuned for the actual race, Falcon Hit versus Zenobian. That's coming up right next. Enjoy.